What is going on, everybody? I'm your host, Vibrant, and this is The Vibrant Truth. And as you see, don't give more than you receive, know your worth. And I know a lot of people say you do a lot of know your worth videos, you do a lot of videos where you talk about knowing yourself. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do a quick sound check here. Perfect. So so a lot of people might say I do a lot of know your worth videos, and I do a lot of these videos because simply based upon the fact that there's a lot of people out here that's talked down to. There's a lot of people here that's made to feel less than. There's a lot of people that's made to feel like their existence doesn't matter. And as much as people get joy out of making people feel like they're less than everyone else, I want to do something with this show and these videos to let any and everyone know that it is possible for you to be something to someone. But before you can be something to someone, you need to believe that you can be something to yourself. You need to believe that you just being you is enough. And that's what I want to do with these videos. Well, with this video, I want that one person that may see this, or that one person that's watching this, or that one person that's hearing this, I want them to know that just being you is enough. And as long as you make yourself happy, then everyone else's opinion can go kick rocks. Right? So if you're noticing that you're in any type of situation, whether it be a friendship, relationship, any type of entanglement, I should say, and you're noticing that you're giving all you have to give, and you're being that positive light, you're being that beacon, you're being that supporter, you're being that person that's pushing someone in the direction they want to go in, or pushing them in the right direction, so to speak. And then you notice when it's time for you to get the same support or the same gestures, you don't get it. It's not there. You don't receive it. It's not there for you. So then, most people, when that happens, they become depressed, they become discouraged, and they begin to fall into a slump, right? Then that builds depression, that builds anxiety, that builds self doubt. Self esteem issues start to come into play. But what people need to understand is, hey, Redbeard, what's going on? How do I sound? Huh? Huh? Do I sound good? I think I sound good. I sound good in the headphones at least. But how do I sound? But yeah, I do, right? I'm still gonna get that mic though. But yeah, I do sound better, right? But what people fail to realize is simply this. It takes two to make a successful friendship, relationship, situationship, entanglement, whatever you want to call it. It takes two, right? So if you're being that positive light, and you're being that positive reinforcement, and you're being the person that you should be, to the other person, then it should definitely be reciprocated. And a lot of people feel like, oh, well, you're this, you're that, you're supposed to do this and do that. But it's always a two-way street. Always a two-way street. So the point of this video is basically to tell those people that's being a positive outlet to a person, that's always showing up, that's always being there for someone, that's always having someone's back and they're not getting it in return. The message of this video is know that you have a light within you that can shine with or without the people that see it. Your light is going to shine regardless. The only person that can stop your light from shining is you. So if you let the people that don't realize how great you are, that don't realize that you're supporting them, that don't realize that your support is genuine and you don't have to do it, but you're doing it because you want to do it, for those people who don't realize that, then guess what? That's their loss. You should never ever have to sit and contemplate or think, what am I doing wrong that they're not seeing certain things? Or the person who knocks your light out. Ha, ha. I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit. That's kind of funny. But yeah, you should never have self-doubt on what you're doing is wrong or right. Because if you know in your heart of hearts that you're being pure hearted, you're being there for that person, you're listening to that person, you're helping that person, then guess what? If they don't see that and they're not reciprocating, fuck them. And I know it's hard to say fuck certain people. I know it's really hard to say fuck certain people. But there comes a point in time where you have to nut up and say, you know what? This is not helping my growth. This is not helping my prosperity. This is not putting me in a positive place. This is not putting me in a path where I feel like I can progress from it. So instead of keeping things that make you feel like you're going to regress in life, simply say fuck it. And I know it's going to take time to actually mean it or whatever, and it's easier to say than do. But just keep practicing. What do you say to people who are afraid of being alone? I mean, I look at it like this: being afraid of being alone is basically subconsciously, I feel like it's a fear of not being accepted by anyone, right? So I used to have a fear of being alone, and I figured out that fear came from not being accepted by anyone. So I felt like there was no one in this world that would accept me. So I would try my best to fit in somewhere, somehow, some way that someone would accept me halfway for who I was or want me around. What I say to people that's afraid of being alone, I say have more faith in yourself. Have faith that you're enough to fulfill your own prophecy and your own destiny without having others around if they don't want to be. Have faith that in your time alone, someone's going to see what bright light you are. Someone's going to see what great spirit you have. Someone's going to see all your worth. Someone's going to see how pure your heart and your intentions are. Because basically, I feel like what happens to those people that have a fear of being alone is like I said I did. They tend to start trying to mold themselves and fit themselves into certain situations so that they can be around someone so they're not alone. And then you're not showing who you really are. You're not showing your true full light. You're not showing your true full goodness, right? So then over time, you'll start to realize that maybe being alone is not so bad. Maybe being alone until the right person comes along, or the right group comes along, or the right situation comes along is not so bad, because then slowly your anxiety starts to go down a bit, right? Because there's very high anxiety for people who's afraid of being alone, right? Your anxiety is up here. But once you get that courage and take that step and say, you know what, I think I'm enough for me. I think I'm enough. Your anxiety slowly starts to come down. When your anxiety comes down, your confidence goes up, because then shit starts to happen in your life. You get on that path. You're not thinking about the anxiety. You're not afraid to try little small baby steps and come out your comfort zone. And a lot of the times, I feel like the more people you have in your life, the harder it is for you to progress and prosper. Because a lot so now, the more people that come into your life, it's a higher chance of them coming to take something from your life. Everyone that comes into your life is not there to see you grow. Everyone that comes into your life is not there to see you prosper, not there to see you succeed. Some people are simply there to take from your life. Take your happiness, take what you have, take your position, veer you off the road you're veering. So, the less people you feel comfortable with being in your life, I feel like in the long run, the better off you'll be, because then you don't have to do so much weeding out on who's here to take and who's here to prosper. And there's also that 2 to 3% that's there just to be nosy, just to go back and speak on your life to other people that you don't talk to, you don't associate with, but yet when you run into them, they know more about your life than you do, because those 2 to 3% people are there in your life, jotting everything down, listening to everything that's happening, watching everything that's happening, and going back and talking to their friends that don't know you from a hole in the wall. But when you happen to run into them, they tend to know every single thing that's going on in your life. Those people that's in your life right there, those are the ones I say you chop off cold turkey. No talking, no what's going on with this, why you doing that. 100%. No more energy. 2022, everyone talks about New Year resolutions and everything like that. There's no New Year resolution for me. What I'm going to say is simply this: 2022, the guy that most people knew, it's not going to be that guy no more. I used to be the type of guy to only keep a few people in my circle. And that's the guy I'm going back to being, because it seems like the more people I try to help, the more people I try to stick my neck out for, I get burned. So, I mean, just so there's no misconception on what I'm saying is simply this: if I don't feel your energy is on the same purity or the same wavelength as mine, there won't be no discussion. The best place to find a group of friends is the same place where you find success. The best place to find your supporters is the place you find failures. I agree with that. But like I said, I'm friends with a few people. I call a few people family. I take a few people as family. Here's the thing though. Like I stated before, there's friends that's friends out of convenience, and there's friends that's friends because they want to be friends. And there's friends that they're friends with you because they believe in what you're doing and you believe in what they're doing. Now, I don't pull no punches. My show is called The Vibrant Truth. And that's what I speak, my truth. Not everyone's going to agree with it. Not everyone's going to like it. But at the end of the day, it's my truth, right? So Here's the thing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I met Redbeard as Captain Salt Shaker or whatever, you know. Over time we built a friendship. There's nothing this man cannot hit me up for. And if I have it, wouldn't give it to him without a second question. Why? Because in a world of cutthroat, backstabbing, gossiping, gamers, content creators, and streamers, this man has always been 100 with me. If there's been an issue, we've discussed it behind closed doors, not on streams and discords or anything for anyone else to see. Same with his brother Blackout. So, in an instance, those two guys, I would go to bat for with anybody, any given time, any day, twice on Sundays. Butterfly Twix is the same thing. So is her husband Ura. Inked Up Dad, we're cool. That's true. Mainly be the main reason why we hardly spoke to each other at first is because, like I said before, Blackout and Redbeard was the biggest streamers and the parlor at that time that I knew of. So there was a little bit of anxiety and fear and intimidation. You have someone with a community and following. You're in your mind like, what the fuck am I supposed to say to these people? I'm new to this shit and I have nothing to talk about. But as time went on, we figured out that we thought the same. We had the same views on most things, and we wasn't about the bullshit and the drama that streaming and discords bring. So we started building on that. And then I started building with Blackout when I joined his Discord. And as the old cliche goes, the rest is history. So, I mean, my main thing and Redbeard's main thing is we don't like bullshit. Okay? We're all adults. So if there's an issue, there's no reason why you can't come to the person you have an issue with and try and sort it out. If it can't be sorted out, then it can't be sorted out. That's why when I see someone new in my stream and they are scared to say something, may not even know what to say, I started with a question I know they can answer confidently. Yeah, that's a good practice. That's good practice. I mean, for me, it was more so of like I didn't know like what to converse about. Talking to a streamer that had a community and following, it was easy for me with Inked Up Dad because like I knew him personally. I worked with him and all that stuff, and like I knew his personality and everything, and I knew if I said something stupid, he would laugh it off or make a joke about it. But like it's like everyone's different, so I'm like, damn, I don't want to come off like a mark. I don't want to come off stupid. So I'll just leave it basic. And it's like to your point, even when a new person comes into my stream from time to time, they'll say hi or whatever. I'll say, hey, what's going on? How'd you find my stream? Like, are you enjoying it? What games do you like to play? That's it. And then by the time they answer how they're doing and then what games they like to play, they're a little loose or whatever, and they start chatting a little bit more. But I mean, for anyone to come into my streams and be afraid to speak, I'm just floored by that because I don't think I'm that good yet, and I only got 96 followers. So I mean, I don't think that's anything to be intimidating about. But like I said, there's some people that see numbers like over 15 or 20, and they think, Holy fuck, that's a big streamer. I am far from a big streamer. These 96 followers, I'm grateful for. I'm grateful as fuck for. How I got them? I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know most of them, yeah, but why they decided to follow? I don't know. I'm grateful for it. Grateful as fuck. But I don't consider myself a big time streamer. I don't even consider myself someone that has the notoriety to be called a known streamer. What I do for those people who's afraid to call help hotlines, who's afraid to call suicide hotlines, who's afraid to talk to anyone because they feel like they're going to get made fun of or their feelings are not going to be understood. I've been there. I've done it. I've experienced it. I'm not going to say I conquered it because I still go through it from time to time, but I know what they're going through. So, this is the base of these videos. Anyone could come in here and ask a question. Anyone could come in here and talk about what they're going through. If it's something I know about, if it's something that I can help you with, if it's something I can steer you in a positive direction, that's what I'll do. David's doing. Hey, David's doing. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. How you doing tonight? But I hope in 2022 the notion of suffering in silence stops. Everyone needs to be heard to an extent. Exactly. Everyone, everyone, I say in all of my streams, everybody deserves to have someone to talk to, right? So it takes nothing, nothing at all to listen to someone's problems, right? It's when you go giving advice about something you know nothing about and you tend to make the problem worse, or you steer a person in the wrong direction and something happens and an adverse effect, right? So I'm a firm believer. Doing well. I love to talk and thought I'd check out Twitch. You are my first stream I've ever watched. Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Well, like I was just saying before, anyone's welcome to come in here and talk. Anyone's welcome to come in here and, voice their opinion, talk about any problems they may be having. I'm more than happy to talk to you and try and steer you in the right direction and give you some good advice. Like I said, I'm an open book. If you have any questions for me about life or if I've been through a certain situation, don't be afraid to ask. That's what this show is all about. It's called The Vibrant Truth for a reason. So I'm an open book. We just here, we talk, we vibe, we talk about real life things, and I hope my videos can help at least one person, get through whatever they may be going through. So this specific video, is about not giving more than you're receiving. And what I mean by that is don't give your energy to people that's not returning it, right? Everyone deserves to feel appreciated, deserves to feel respected, deserves to feel like they matter. So if you're giving all your energy to a person or a situation, whatever it may be, and you don't feel like you're getting the same energy back, then there's nothing wrong with pulling back and saying, I deserve better. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It doesn't make you a bad person, it doesn't make them a bad person. All it's saying is you're realizing that you're giving more than what you feel you deserve in return. So you're going to pull back. And whether you decide to have a conversation with that person about it is totally up to you, but there's nothing wrong with saying, I deserve more. Hey, Nathan, I appreciate the sub. There's nothing wrong with you saying, hey, this is wrong. I'm doing for you emotionally, mentally, and physically, and you're not doing anything in return. Appreciate the tab, Chevy. So, with that being said, I feel like what Redbeard said earlier, the suffering in silence in 2022, I hope I can put my foot in that and help stop that, because that's what these shows are about. That's what these videos are for. And at the end of every video, I've always put up my socials for people to reach me in DMs or in Discord or whatever. And this video will be no different. If anybody that's watching or that will watch this video later on the Twitch VOD or YouTube or Twitter, you catch all my socials at the end of the video. Don't be afraid to hit me up. I'm here to talk to any and everybody about any and everything. And if I can't give you the right advice, or if I don't feel comfortable or confident in the fact that I can give you advice that's going to enrich your life or make you go further in your life, then I'll be honest with you and tell you, hey, listen, you could vent to me about this, but I don't know if I have the right advice or the right answers for you. And I mean, that's just that. But what I want is for people to understand that it doesn't take a whole lot to treat people with respect. All you have to do is respect somebody. You don't have to like everyone you come in contact with. You don't have to agree with everyone you come in contact with. But at least respect everyone you come in contact with. And I mean, I know that's a concept that goes over a lot of people's heads because a lot of people get emotional in some situations and they're just like, you know, whatever, they run off emotions. But you always should respect everyone you come in contact with because you may never know what type of day that person's having. The interaction with you can send a person over the edge because they're already having a bad day. So before you react to a person acting a certain way towards you, stop and think for a second and say to yourself, maybe this person's having a bad day. It doesn't take much to just walk away from the situation or to say, well, I don't think I deserve the reaction I got, but okay, have a nice day. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know it's easier said than done. But as time goes on and dealing with situations I've dealt with and am dealing with currently, I'm learning day by day that walking away takes a lot more power and courage than it does to react to a situation. And a lot of people hate when you walk away and you're not bothered and you're not angry and all this other stuff. It bothers them for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. So, why escalate a situation that you could just walk away from, right? So, a lot of people go through this. A lot of people go through this. So, I'm gonna hit you with an example, right? So, you're at work, working with a coworker, or you have a coworker, and something needs to get done that's not your job, but you say, "Hey, my coworker's busy. I have nothing to do. Let me help them out." So what you do is you help them out. You do their job, right? They say thank you. You know, they do all the proper things. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're a great coworker. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. All that jazz. So then fast forward, and you're backed up. They have nothing to do. You're running around trying to get your work done, and they're just sitting there. just relaxing, just doing their thing, not doing anything. And you're like, hey, yeah, so can I get a little help? And they're gonna say, I'm busy. Now that's gonna make you angry, right? It's gonna make anybody angry. So what do? You have two options. You can A, react and lose your cool and start a whole situation, or B, and as hard as B is gonna be, you say to yourself, okay, well that was a lesson learned. I won't never help that person again with their job when I'm slow and I have nothing to do and I see they're struggling. So now, does that really does engaging in that make anything worth it? Because all that did was you aggravated yourself. They still didn't help you, and now you cause a scene at work, which 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get looked at as the issue because you're complaining about not being helped with your work. Or you can take route B and say, okay, well, I just thought I'd ask. I'll get it done. Thank you. And you walk away. So now you're walking away with the thought in your head, okay, I'm never going to help this coworker again. I'm never going to help this person again, right? Okay. So then a couple of months later, it happens again. They're backed up. You're slow. They're running around. They're stressing. Because of your good nature and against your better judgment, you go back and you help them again. And they say, "Oh, I appreciate it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was stressing out. My anxiety was high." You say, "Don't mention it. We're a team. That's what we do. We help each other out." And then it's your turn yet again. And yet again they do the same thing. "Oh, well, it's my time to go, so I'm going to leave. I don't have time to help you." You cause a scene. Oh, you say, "Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. I'll get it done. I just thought I'd ask because I seen you wasn't doing anything, but I appreciate it. You have a great night, day, afternoon, whatever time of the day may be." So now you say to yourself again, okay, I'm never helping this coworker again. I know I said it before, but I'm not gonna do it again. So what happens again? And this time this coworker comes to you and says, "Hey, can you help me? I'm my anxiety is high. I'm stressed. There's no one else here, and I see you finished your work. I was wondering if you could help me." Now you could be a total asshole and say, "Oh, remember the 2 times I asked you to help me and you said no?" You can go that route. But then you can also look at the person and say, "Hey, well, it's my time to leave, so I think I'm just gonna, head out. I apologize, but I don't have the time to help you." You can go that route just like they went that route with you. The point of this story and the moral of this story is simply this: everyone has a choice in how they react in situations. Yeah, it's easy to blow your top and curse someone out or yell at somebody or cause a scene, but that person is really going to be bothered by the fact that you kept your composure. You looked at them and you said, okay, thank you, and walked away. Or you said, I appreciate, you know, I appreciate you anyway, even though you can't help me. I'll figure something out, right? That shows that you, A, have the maturity to understand that just because people are in a position to help you doesn't mean they're going to help you. B, that you know that just because you ask for help doesn't mean you're not capable of finishing it yourself. Just if you had help, you would have been done a little bit faster. So, with that being said, everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. at least once, maybe even twice, maybe twice. But after the second time, then they don't deserve no more benefits of the doubts. They don't even deserve any more chances. If you're a really good person, right? And I know people say there's no such thing as a really good person. If you're a really good person and you do things out the kindness of your heart, and people keep walking all over you, and people keep giving you the ass to kiss, excuse my language. I don't know if swearing offends you, David. If it does, I'm sorry. But if people keep walking all over you, then maybe they're the problem. And I see a lot of people that get taken advantage of, that gets used, sit here and say, well, maybe I'm the problem. What am I doing wrong? Why does this happen to me? I don't agree with that at all. I apologize if you guys could hear the sirens. That's Santa going down the road. But anyway, I don't agree with that sentiment because if you're kind-hearted and your intentions are pure, veteran, EMT, mechanic, and not a semi dealer, nothing offends or bothers me. Oh, okay, cool. So if you're pure-hearted and you know you're doing things out the kindness of your heart, and the people that you're doing these things for are using you, you're not the problem. Never sit here and say, I wonder what I'm doing wrong. Why does people always walk all over me? Why do people always take advantage of me? Listen, I used to be that guy. I used to be the guy to sit here and wonder why people used me, why people only called me or texted me or came around when they wanted something, money, or me to fight their battles or just someone to talk to. I used to think I was the problem, but guess what? You can't change who you are because people see your kindness for weakness. Hey, Double XP, what's up, brother? So here's my thing, right? If you feel like you're the problem, then ask yourself this question: what is the problem in you trying to help somebody? What is the problem in you caring about if other people is okay? There's no problem in that. And there's going to be a lot of people. Oh, no problem, brother. Always, always. That's what we about here at the Vibrant Truth. We're about support and love and trying to bring prosperity and positivity to people's lives. So if you are doing everything you can to live the life you feel like you should be living purely and wholeheartedly, then it's the people that's taking advantage of you and taking advantage of that. That's the issue, right? And like I was saying before, I've been a victim many times. Like I said, I'm an open book. If anyone wants to chat about it, wants to ask questions, I'm an open book. I'm not afraid to say that I've sat. So let's get into it. When is it not good to give more than 100%? Okay, so situations where it's not good to give 100%. Okay, so let's say you're in a friendship, you're in a relationship, whatever type of ship you're in, right? Let's say you wholeheartedly is invested in it, right? So, You're there, you're a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen, you're supportive in a person's dreams, goals, whatever they may have, aspirations. And then say something happens in your life, and that same person that you're the shoulder to cry on, the ear to listen to, the supporter, and all that stuff, they're not there for you in any sense of the word, right? So then that's when I feel personally you're left with two choices: continue on being the person you are and ignore that they're just a shitty person. Two, confront the person and start to pull back a little bit until their energy matches yours. Me personally, I feel like an effective relationship, friendship, entanglement, whatever it may be, a successful anything is 50-50. So if you're given 100%, that person should be given 100%. You got to meet in the middle. It can't be one person. So, how do we determine people are worth being equals and not just being symbiotic? Well, here's the thing, right? The people that's worth being equals, I feel you wouldn't have to second guess and think, is it worth it? Because they'll show you on their own that it's worth being equals. They'll show you that they want to be a part of your life. They'll show you by what you do for them, they're going to return it automatically because they want you to know that you're that important to them, just like they're important to you. Now, if you have to have a conversation about, hey, I don't feel like, everything is on an even playing field. It's like you want me to be there for you, but like you're not there for me. And I feel like when you are there for me, it's just because you don't want to have this conversation about how come you're not there for me like I'm there for you. Then that I feel is being symbiotic, right? Because they're using you for all your support, all your pureness, all your love, all your caring. And then when it's time for them to show it back, you have to pull it out of them, right? You have to say, hey, I need you. Hey, I need someone to talk to. Hey, I just need you to be here. So, I mean, if a person really wants you to feel like you're the equal or you're worth it, they're going to show you 100% without you having to pull it out of them, without you sitting here saying, hey, where are you? Like, you wouldn't have to say anything like, haven't you noticed I've been depressed? Haven't you noticed I've been upset? Haven't you noticed I've been off? They're going to know. Even if you try to hide it, they're going to know. Because when a person's important to someone, everything matters to them. Like, if you lose your spring in your step, so to speak, that person's going to notice because you're important to them. If you have an off day and you try to hide it and they say, hey, what's wrong? And you say nothing, they're going to know because you're just that important to them. Now, if they're going around saying, not noticing anything different that you're doing, if they're not noticing you're down, if they're not noticing you had an off day, if they're not noticing just the small shit, then that's how you know it's not worth being an equal to them. And I mean, I've said it in other videos and I'm going to say it one more time because I have one or two new viewers. So if you haven't heard this saying, I'm going to say it. If your absence doesn't impede a person's life, then your presence never really meant anything to them. And what that simply means is this: Your presence never made or broke them. So that means your absence is not really going to matter to them. Where they had you at one point, they're going to have somebody else. And then when they're done with them, they're going to have someone else in that spot. So if you leave a person's life and they don't seem to care, or they don't try and reach out, or they don't try to talk to you about it, or they don't try and ask what's going on, they just go on about their life, your presence wasn't serious to them. Your presence wasn't nothing that they needed. Your presence was just something that was there to fill a space until they found something better. And as fucked up as that may sound, that's what happens a lot. In friendships, relationships, even some marriages. So, what are red flags to look for in the beginning? Well, that depends. In the beginning of what? Are you talking about in the beginning of a relationship, a friendship, or a marriage? Because there's different red flags for each of those situations. Okay, relationships, red flags, and in the beginning. Okay, so this is just my perspective. I'm not saying this is everything. Red flags in the beginning of a relationship. So in the beginning, when you meet a woman, right? What does women typically do when something's new, right? They want to talk to you all the time. They want to text you. They want to talk about your day. They want to ask you how was your day and what are you up to and all these things, right? So, a couple of red flags. If you meet a new woman and you're constantly texting her first and she's hitting you with one word answers or she's taking forever to text you back, red flag. If you call her and she never picks up and then she texts you, I'm busy, I'll hit you later, red flag. If you're there to listen to her problems on the phone or in person or whatever wherever it may be, and then you call her when you had a bad day and she cuts you off in the middle of you talking and say, I'll call you back. I'm in the middle of something, red flag. See, because with women, women are simply built like this. Okay? Women want love and affection, right? A lot of people think it's the shopping sprees and the materialistic things and the cars and the dinners. Women want to know that they're the center of your universe, right? So they want all the attention that they can get when they can get it, whenever they can get it. So if you're showering a woman with attention and she's not giddy with that, or she's not happy with that, or she seems uninterested, red flag. Because when you break up with a woman, or you guys break up, what's one of the first things she says? You're not giving me enough attention. We don't spend enough time together. So, what I feel is simply this, to piggyback off of your red flags question, double XP. I'm going to simply say this, right? There's two types of women in the world, there's women that give, and there's women that take. Real women, fake women. So, a real woman will be in your corner, supporting you, giving you the same love and attention and affection that you're giving her. She won't take from your mental happiness. She won't take from your emotional happiness. She won't add to your anxiety. She won't add to your stress. A woman that wants to be with you, a woman that wants a life with you, a woman that's happy being with you will be your peace. Yeah, there's going to be arguments and disagreements. There's going to be fights. But a woman that wants to be with you is going to be your peace. She's going to stay in your corner and try and help elevate you and not tear you down. Now, then there's the other woman that's there to take, right? You're showering her with all the love and affection and the gifts and the shopping sprees and the cars and all this time and affection. And she's just there like whatever. You have a bad day, she's not there to listen. You want to talk, she doesn't want to talk. You want to do things, she doesn't want to do things. That's a woman that takes, that's a woman that adds to the stress. That's a woman that adds to your anxiety. And what a lot of people don't realize is when men hurt way worse than women. Why? Because everything is on a man's shoulders, right? The success of a marriage or a relationship is on a man's shoulders. The failures of a relationship or a marriage is on the man's shoulders. By society standards, I'm saying, of course. So every time a relationship fails or a marriage fails, in society's eyes, until the details come out, it's automatically a man's fault. And even in sometimes when the details come out, it's still the man's fault. So with all that anxiety and all that pressure, it's nice to have a woman that's going to be your peace, where you can just talk to and release all that anxiety and all that stress. But then there's also red flags on the men's side, right? So let's talk about the men's side. Let's be fair. So if a man has a woman that's all about him, that's showering him with love and affection, and you know, let's just say for argument's sake, she doesn't work and you do. You come home, the house is clean, your clothes are clean, dinner's done. She's all about talking to you about your day, finding out how your day went, everything like that. And you just sitting on the couch on your phone, not paying attention. That's a red flag. If she's texting you and you're not texting back and you're taking forever to text back and she knows you're home and you're not busy, red flag. And I mean, let's just be honest. When you're talking to someone or you meet somebody or you think you like somebody, it's very easy to ignore red flags, right? It's very easy to say, oh, hey, this is a red flag. It's very easy to say that. But at the same time, eventually you'll notice it. So, I mean, it's just, that's just my opinion on it, anyways. But, yeah. So, yeah, that was just my opinion on the subject. So, with that being said, that's gonna end this video for today. Um, I am not sure when I'll be back. Um, so, uh, quick shout outs. Um, Lost my train of thought for a second there. But, yeah, quick shout outs. I want to shout out Redbeard for stopping by. Appreciate you. I want to shout out Chevy for the tab. I want to shout out Double XP for stopping by. I want to shout out Um, I'm missing somebody. David, first time chatter. I appreciate you. My socials. Facebook is now Tony DeFranza. It's no more Absolute Gambino. Twitch, Vibrant underscore Truth. Twitter, Vibrant underscore Truth. Um, yeah, those are all my socials. If you go to my Patreon, which is linked in on my Twitter page, there you will find my cell phone number. You can text me, call me, whatever you like. Um, I'm always available to talk whenever. I really don't have a life. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Um, Hopefully, a Truth Seekers podcast is coming soon. I have to get with Redbeard and Blackout for that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I will send the love over to Chevy. So you guys have a good night. I appreciate you guys, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Laters.